Hi guys, right, I've set up this little shooting range. Got targets down at 35 metres. I need to shoot several videos at once because I've got this as a new permission and I've probably got some rat permissions which I need to go and sort out, but basically I wanted to come down and get the rifles sorted. But I've now taken this Zulus off my HW57, put walk vantage scope on there, and I've been zeroing it in and trying out different pellets. Now, I noticed in the comments there's been quite a few people saying about issues with the loading port on this little rifle. When I get back home I'm going to talk a bit more about that, but this is a very snug fit, and what I'm going to do, pointing this safely down range, I'm going to load this up there. Yeah, try again. It is so cold today guys, it is literally just hovering above freezing. That sits flush the loading port. Once that's done, safety catches on us pointing in a safe direction. I don't care how much you shake this or do anything untoward to this rifle, that will not raise up. It's a very snug fit. It's smooth but snug. And as for this popping up, I have a theory what people are doing wrong. I'll just put this into one of these knockdowns down range. Lovely headshot on the top there. What it is, I think this is nice and solid. If you don't press this all the way down, what will happen is you'll get a really noisy discharge, and that can bugger this bit up. And I think what people are doing is they're sticking pellets in here. Hang on, you can see guys, to get that up I have to recock it. What they're doing is they're not sitting their skirts flush within the loading port, and they're pressing down on this and they're nipping the skirts, and they're shaving off small bits of lead what are going down into this piece here, and then it won't sit flush. But you can see there guys, that doesn't pop up. Even if I held this upside down and I discharge this is in a safe direction into the ground, I'll just discharge it and you can see this doesn't lift up at all, this doesn't move. So I believe people had issues with this by shearing off their pellets inside or getting debris inside this piece here, which is preventing this going down. But I believe this is user error rather than a mechanical fault with the rifle. There may have been issues with it before, but I've had one of these rifles for 9 years and I've had no issues with these at all. You seat them flush, no problem at all. That doesn't move. So I don't know what to say. All I can think of is user error. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to whack off a group. I did notice in my comments one chappie having problems with his 57, saying that he couldn't group 6 inches with it. Well, at 35 metres I've got some targets down there. I'll spin the camera around and I'll put in a 5-shot group. So I'll just spin it Hang on guys, so I'm going to turn this camera off and reset it so it's pointing down range, and then I'll zoom out so you can see I'm not cheating. Right guys, so you can see, because I haven't got camera down range, 57, I'm just going to get behind the camera, bench rest it, and I'll go on the right hand target at the 12 o'clock position, and I'll put a 5 round creep down for it. Oh god, it's really cold. I have to forgive me if I'm taking a bit of a while with my shots guys, my fingers are numb. That wasn't so good. Alright guys, I'm going to put a 10 round group down, so called some shots there. This is not a fault of the gun, this is purely my shitty shooting because my hands are so cold. Hi guys, right, my apologies for this video. What happened was, I got a new place to shoot. I fully intended to show you like around sort of lay of the land today, as well as a bit of the shooting. One of the guys who shoots on the farm is a keen air gunner, and that shooting bench you'll probably you can see me sitting on, it's what he built, and we've got a little almost inbuilt range, and we can stretch it out to about 75 metres, but today I was shooting at 35 metres. Right, on the video, what happened is, believe it or not, the temperature's currently hovering around 1 degree with a wind chill factor today. According to my phone, it was real feel was minus 4 degrees Celsius. It was flipping cold. So I'm not making any excuses for the rifle or my shooting. All I'm just saying is, bear in mind today I shot in very cold conditions, and to be fair, I couldn't really feel my fingertips, and I wasn't having a particularly good day shooting. We all have. I'm still recovering, so I'm getting my excuses in. Any issues, well, anything what you saw with the shooting was not the fault of the rifle at all. I'll accept full responsibility for that. It was just a bit ring rusty, should we say. So without further ado, what happened is, when I on the video I was shooting down at the farm, my camera, I didn't charge it before I went. I was under the mistaken belief that it was fully charged, and it died, and I wasn't even aware of that. I went to get up to turn the camera around, show you the targets down range, and the camera was dead. and since I've been home it's now been on charge like 6 hours. That's how you can see me speaking to you now. So it's no skullduggery. It was shot at 35 metres, and if no one believes me, I'm quite prepared to go out and do it all again, because that's just me. Right, so that group, what you did see me shoot, is that group there. Now, for these slightly high shots, I think I counted 11 holes in there, but there could be 12 holes in there. UK 10p piece. So if I just pop that on there, other than the one high shot, which was pretty much my fault because I felt my shoulder slip as I went to fire the gun. I kind of put that slipped on my jacket, so I knew that's going to go high. They're all underneath a 10p piece, other than one was like half underneath. I didn't know if this camera will pick this up. Oops, so we'll show that. Anyway, where I'm going with it, I heard it said in the comments, like, one particular fellow was having a problem with his 57 and he couldn't shoot 6-inch groups at 25 yards. Right, these rifles are capable of shooting much better than what I shot today. I've shown it before. I think my best group I've shot at 40 metres was like a 9mm group. So this has got banks of accuracy. And as I was trying to say down on the farm actually today, what can happen is if you don't push this all the way down, you are going to have problems. And as for it not aligning, I still think what has happened at some point in that rifle's history is the loading port has been trying to push down and it's nicked a bit of the pellet skirt and it's sheared it off either at the front, or if it's been pushed too far at the nose and it's had a piece of lead or something go down in there, and it basically gets into the works on the underside here. I don't know if it'll show, and it gums it up and it stops it sitting flush. If you have problems with it, what I advise is getting the stock off it and having a look-see and seeing what the issue is for these loading ports not sitting flush. As for loading ports popping up, I've never heard that, and I was speaking to my gunsmith friends and they've never heard that. Now, I've heard it said that the earlier models were prone to this and Burrow sorted them out, but I've got to say, prior to this one I had a TT version of this with the proper stock instead of this stupid cutout on. I had that 9 years and I had no issues whatsoever. I will just explain, on one of my short videos I was shooting like this with my thumb on there. That had nothing to do with me holding the loading port down, it's just how I was sitting at the time I was shooting on, rested on a sandbag, and I just found that a comfortable way to shoot. And normally I'd have my thumb running alongside the stock, but I was just trying something different. It was nice not to have a sliding breech there, which I wouldn't be keen to put my fingers anywhere near, even if it was closed up. But yeah, that's all it was. I was experimenting with my hold on that video. This little loading port, you can, once you shut it, the only way you're going to get that open again is by cocking the system. Even if you cocked it, loaded the pellet in, pushed it all the way down, there's no way to then pull this back up, it won't come up freely. You have to operate the underlever and recock it and get it to pop back up. I've never heard of these ever popping up. They're in there very snugly, and I don't care what you do to this rifle, that will not fall out of there as such. Got O-rings in there that hold that fairly snug, and it just wouldn't happen. So rather than a manufacturing fault, and indeed I accept there might be manufacturing faults in these rifles, are not infallible, but in general I'll say that you might get an odd rifle that performs like it, and before you know it, good old internet and all the rest of it, suddenly it becomes a major issue in the rifles right across the board. There's lots of urban myths in regards to Viro in general, and it doesn't mean they're necessarily true. You might get an odd rogue rifle and suddenly the good old internet makes it seem like it's an issue right across the board. Like I say, I've never had any issues with this loading port. I'm quite good friends with 3 different gunsmiths, well actually 4 different gunsmiths. I've spoken to them all about this issue, and they've never had issues with it. They've never had to return rifles to hull cartridge because of any issues with this loading port. But the common theme for my gunsmith buddies is it's usually people not loading these properly and jamming, shearing off the skirts, just as I suspected, and people fiddling around with their rifles who don't really know what they're doing, and incorrect disassembly and all sorts like that. So if you do purchase one of these rifles, and I've got to say I'm not a salesman for Viro, if you do purchase one of these and you get a new one and you get it from a proper gun shop and you have issues with it, take it back to the gun shop. It'll still be in warranty provided you haven't fiddled around with it and validated the warranty, and either get your money back or get the rifle sent back to hull cartridge and ultimately Viro and get yourself a new rifle, or just get a refund. That's all I can suggest. But yeah, I'm quite surprised. I hear lots and lots of issues with different Viros, and I've never had them. I've heard it said a lot, but have I actually seen it or experienced it? Hell no. So what can I say? Not a lot. Right, I want to shut up about this 57, but what I will say is, apart from the new place I got to shoot today, fingers crossed I'm going to hear from a new permission tomorrow, and it's on a livestock farm, and it's absolutely heaving with rats, absolutely. So if that's the case, and I get my foot in the door and get permission on there, you can guarantee there will be lots of rats shooting there. It is quite overrun, should we say, and it's quite a nice environment for rats, should we say. I've had a look-see today, and it just screams rat, sort of rat habitat, should I say. And the farmer, bless him, is having lots of problems with it, so hopefully I'll get the touch wood, I'll get the green light on that, and that's where we go. Right, this video's long enough, and I'm sorry for running on, guys, as usual, but I had to say it because it drives me mad sometimes when I hear about issues. I fully sympathise with people who do have genuine issues with their rifles, but individual cases can't be generalised right across the board. That's what I'm trying to say. And it's amazing really. You hear lots of rubbish said about all different makes and models of rifles, but I don't know, one needs to look a bit further and a bit closer what the true issue is what I'm trying to say. And with that guys, cheers, and I'll catch you next time.